Hello again, welcome to a new week. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you, you're the real MVP. But if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Grace, but you can call me Gracie, and I am on a journey to grow 22 inches of hair. Yes, you heard right, girl, I want them inches. So I will be using different products and techniques that I will hopefully be able to incorporate into my usual hair care routine so that I can reach that goal sooner rather than later. So if that's something you're interested in, then please do consider subscribing and of course hitting that notification bell so you know every time I upload. And while you're there, why not follow me on my other social media accounts, which should appear somewhere around me right now. And if at any point during my hair growth journey you do decide to use one of the products or techniques that I'm using, then please go ahead and use this hashtag Gracie Crew Growth Journey so that I know that you are one of us. So with that being said, let's get into this video. Okay, my beauties, before we get into this video, I have to explain the situation on my head. I'm deep conditioning, and also it's my chance to show you that, you know, I'm practicing what I'm preaching to you guys, okay? So yeah, just welcome our little bonnet and scarf, and they'll be part of our video today. So this week's hair tip is making sure that you moisturize your hair. First, we'll start by discussing why is it important that you moisturize your hair. Our hair needs moisture. Two things that our hair needs the most. There are other things that, you know, we do and that we practice that help it to stay healthy, grow long, and all that good stuff. So two products that I would say our hair needs is protein and moisture. So the only way to get moisture into your hair is with water or with a product that is, I would say, vast majority, maybe at least more than 70% of that product is made with water. So water is your only source of moisture. Let's get that straight. And yeah, our hair needs those two in order to stay healthy and stay strong and stay shiny and looking good and feeling soft. So moisture is so important because it also prevents breakage. Now, obviously, an overload of protein will cause breakage because it will make your hair become extremely brittle. But also on the flip side, an overload of moisture will make your hair become very mushy, very elasticy, which will also cause breakage because then it becomes very weak. As we know, when you are detangling your hair, most people will see that if you're too rough on your hair, especially when it's wet, it's actually very easy to get breakage, which is something that some naturals are coming to discover that it's actually possible to cause more damage to your hair, which is called mechanical damage, which is, we know, when we're combing out our hair, we're brushing, we're detangling when it's wet. And actually these are the ones that we're so scared of, like heat damage or chemical damage. So that's something to look out for. So yeah, your hair needs moisture in order to stay healthy, in order to stay soft, in order to do what it does, which is stay on our heads and be beautiful and grow long. Well, depending on how long you want it. So that is why you need to ensure that you're moisturizing your hair. So number two, how do you moisturize your hair? There are different ways to do it, of course. As I said, the first thing is use products that are majority of the ingredients in there are either, you know, something like gels or natural plant gels rather, or water itself. The reason why I mentioned plant gels is because they are a very amazing and natural source of water. They are a source of water-based product that is like for example, aloe vera, flaxseed gel, ambunu gel. I hope I said it right. What other things? Cactus gel, because most of what you find in there is water. Then as well, there are other products that are like sprays that you can use in your hair, things like aloe vera juice, especially store-bought, because fresh aloe vera is not something you would want to keep in your hair, more so something that you can put in your hair for a little bit and then wash it out. But yeah, use a lot of products that have water in them, and not just like a little bit, like 2 milliliters or like a teaspoon. Look out for the ingredient list and make sure that water is the first ingredient there. That would signify to you that majority of the product is water. Okay, so the other way that you can ensure that your hair is getting enough moisture is, of course, when you're taking a shower, which is something that I've also learned now, is because all the time I would always have like some type of protection, because I was thinking, oh, I need to protect my hair against the water. But then it's like, wait, my hair needs water. So when you are taking a shower, granted, your hair is not in a state that maybe exposing it to water would disturb things there, like a hairstyle or something like that, then throw away the shower cap when you're showering, especially if you are high porosity. Now, I'll say for my low porosity sisters, you will still need the shower cap or the scarf, because we don't want too much water getting into your hair strands. But otherwise, if you're high porosity, something that you can do that is very easy and that is no work at all is just don't wear anything on your hair when you're in the shower. That's a natural quote unquote mist for your hair. Then as well, the third way is, of course, spraying water directly onto your hair. Now, this is great if you do not live in an area that does not have extremely hot climate, because if water is not attached to anything, is like nothing is dissolved, we all know that if you leave a cup of water in extremely hot weather, like if you leave a cup of water out in the sun and you live in an extremely hot place, obviously it's going to evaporate like faster than had you left a cup of water with like maybe some sugar dissolved in there, some water. So it's the same with your hair. If you just spray water on its own on your hair, especially, as I said, in very hot climates or in weather conditions where it's very easy for that water to evaporate from your hair strands, your hair won't stay moisturized for quite long. It will be helpful, but not for quite long. So make use of, as I mentioned before, things like natural gels or plant gels, your aloe vera. Whenever you can, leave it in your hair for a little bit, wash it out. Another thing you can do is add some leave-in conditioner to your water, so that way there's some product in it that would help it stay on your hair strands longer, so your hair has time to absorb it and it doesn't just get all lost to the atmosphere. So those are 3 simple ways to ensure that your hair is getting enough moisture in it. And yeah, as I said before, plant gels are really actually good. The one I would recommend is flaxseed gel. I've used it a lot, mainly because it's one of the plant gels that you can actually leave in your hair that I know for sure will not cause any reactions or anything like that. Aloe vera is different. Some people have said aloe vera caused some type of reaction like protein overload or something like that. So I'm confident to say flaxseed gel is one of those that I'm yet to hear someone say they reacted badly to flaxseed gel. So try that out if you're looking for something that will add moisture to your hair. Now, the last thing we want to talk about is as much as your hair needs moisture, you want to avoid having moisture overload or hydro fatigue. And the way to do that is always pay attention to how your hair is behaving. If you notice that it's becoming more mushy, more like if you take a strand of hair, usually that's something I do sometimes. I'll see how far I can stretch it. If your hair is stretching way too far, like you keep on pulling and pulling and it's just not breaking, that's one of like the most simplest signs of hydro fatigue. Another is just your curls are not as popping anymore. They're so limp, despite the fact that you don't have any heat damage, you don't have any chemical damage. So that will signal to you that, okay, maybe this might be some hydro fatigue. Now the way to fix that is, of course, to introduce protein treatments if you haven't. And if you have been doing protein treatments, you would need to do them a bit more frequently. For example, if you're doing them every 8 weeks, you might need to start doing them every 4 weeks, just until your hair gets back to its normal state. But if you've never done a protein treatment, then this is your opportunity to introduce protein treatments into your routine, so that it would help, give that strength back to your hair, get your curls popping again, and yeah, just help you out in that aspect. So yeah, avoid hydro fatigue. Pay attention. You don't always need to be supplying your hair with water, but just pay attention to how it feels at the end of the day, especially when you've been out, or maybe you've just been sitting in your house. Does it still feel moisturized? Does it still feel soft? Or you notice that it's starting to get dry, then you'd be like, okay, let me spritz a little bit of water. And even after you do that, pay attention to how it feels. Is it soft again, or do you still feel like, okay, it needs a little bit more? So as you're doing everything to make sure that your hair is healthy, just pay attention to the way it's reacting to what you're doing, and that will give you a good measure of like, okay, I can stop now, or okay, I need to spritz my hair with more water, or I need to use more flaxseed gel, whatever source of water-based, or whatever water-based products you decide to use. And yeah, that should be the most I can say about moisture. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comment section. Of course, as always, I try to keep this video short because I don't want to keep talking and talking and talking. But yeah, I hope this helped you out. And yeah, this is another tip number 6. So I hope you check out my length check of the week. We are using spearmint oil. This would be day 7, so I hope you check that out and you see how much progress I've made. I've actually made quite a lot of progress, and I'm so happy about that. So please do check out my other video for the week, and I will see you next week in our next hair growth tip of the week. Bye.